GPISD has purchased several databases which will assist students when doing research. If you go to the GPISD homepage, click on the Student tab, and then click on Library Services. You can see here a list of the different databases on the right side and also the resource of teachingbooks.net. We will look at these today. The first database we're going to look at is Culturegrams. Culturegrams is a database full of information about different countries. For elementary students, the Kids Edition is usually the most user-friendly for students. 4th and 5th graders might want to use the World Edition if they're very good readers. The States Edition might be good if you're doing research on states in 5th grade, or maybe even for 4th grade if they're doing Texas history. Once you click on the Kids Edition, it comes up and gives you just a picture of the world map. You can click on the continent that you are interested in. It will then show you all the different countries or provinces. Click on the country that you're interested in. And this is the page that you will get. It gives you people and places, history, lifestyle, society, other facts. It gives you some interesting facts there in the middle. It gives you maps. It gives you the flag, their national anthem. It gives you some of the other interesting things. And if you will notice at the top, if you click there, it will read the article to the student. So if the student has difficulty reading, they may listen to the article. The next database we're going to look at is the Gale database. It has several different components within it. Once you click on the icon, it brings you to this screen. Elementary schools need to click on Elementary School and then click on the school. If you're taken to this page here, you just simply click Proceed. If it asks you for a password, the password is LEARN, all lowercase letters. The first component that we're going to look at is the biography component. When you click on the biography component, it's going to give you a scroll through of current events, featured videos of things that are happening. It gives you different sections of different types of information, or you can search by name on something that you're interested in. Since I'm making this training just before MLK Day, I thought we would look at Martin Luther King. As I clicked on searched for him and it took me here, it gives you a summary about the person with the opportunity to even view more. It gives you reference information. It gives you feature information. I'm just going to click on the feature article at the top here. It gives you some information about him. It gives you the source citation. There are tools on the right, and if you will notice at the top, you can also click Listen, and it will read the article to you as well. Kids Info Bits is something that we have always had in the Gale database, and many of you may be familiar with. However, they have changed the format. Here you see that you can either type in your search, or they have different sections like animals, music, movies, different things like that. If you scroll down the page, you will also see the arts, geography, and other sections. I'm going to click on the Animals tab and show you what happens when you click like that. It comes up and gives you categories of animals. I'm going to click on Birds, and then it gives you a listing of different types of birds. If you had clicked on, say, amphibians, it would give you a listing of different types of amphibians. As you see the little sound icon there, if you click on that, it will read the word to the student. When you click on that animal or that section, it will give you books, pictures, magazines, and news articles. I'm going to click on the magazine article, Who Could Catch a Chicken? You see here that it comes up, and everywhere you see the word chicken, it's highlighted in red. It will read it for you if you click on the Listen button at the top. At the bottom, it gives you the source citation. On the right-hand side, it gives you lots of different tools that the students can use as they are reading the article. The last tab we're going to look at in Gale Database is the National Geographic Kids. It also has tabs here for Informa, however you say that in Spanish, which is the Spanish part of the Gale Database. There's not a lot of articles and things like there is in English, but there is some Spanish information there that might be useful. It also gives you educators' reference. It's a journal and reference on child development, and then it gives you top reference ebooks as well. We're not going to look into those, just know that they're there. If you will also notice on the right, it will give you guided tutorials. You can also do online training through their webinars, and there are other additional tools. So now let's go to the National Geographic Kids and see what it looks like. In the National Geographic Kids, it gives you videos, pictures. It also gives you books and magazines. We're going to click on the magazine about the leopards and see what that format looks like. As you see here, it brings up the magazine article. At the top, it also gives you an option to listen to the articles. If you will click on the little wheel there for the setting, it will adjust the speed of the reader. It's a computer reader and it's not very entertaining, but it helps if kids can't read. If you'll see, it gives you other related subjects and articles on the right that you could click on. If you click in the top right-hand corner, it will make the article go full page, which is going to look like this. And then in the middle of the page at the top, you can increase by certain percents if you wanted to focus in on a certain article. You turn the pages in the magazine on the left by clicking on the blue arrow, and then when you're ready to go back to regular screen, up in the right you click on the little icon on the right top and it will take it back to regular screen. Maps 101 is paid for by the Social Studies Department, and it gives various maps and various geography helps. Let's look at what it looks like. When you click on Maps 101, you can see here that they have some field trips in their library that you can click on and has some information. It also gives National Geographic, it gives map collections, it has a Spanish section and a reference atlas. I think the most useful to elementary students is the beginner maps, and that's over down there where it says K through 3 maps. And the very first section, Uncle Sam's Farm, is interactive and talks to the kiddos, and then it gives you state maps, territory maps. It's a map of a town, map of a country, different types of maps that might be helpful to look at if they have map reading on their test. The next database we're going to look at is NBC Learn. This is furnished by NBC, and it has data clips and clips that you might have seen on TV way back in the past up to current events as well. You have to register and form an account, and then you can get into the Grand Prairie ISD database. It gives you informational and instructional videos on how to embed videos and facts and things from NBC Learn into your presentations. Once you get in, you can see that they have a browse section on the left with current events and different types of subject areas. It gives you current events as well with little video clips, or you can search if you are looking for something specific. PebbleGo is something that especially K1 and 2 are familiar with, and I think as they've expanded this, your challenged readers in 3, 4, and maybe even 5 might find this useful. As you see here, there are 4 sections to the database. In order to access the databases, you need to get a username and a password from your IMS. Once you're logged in, you'll see the 4 different categories of the databases. We're going to click on Animals. As you can see here, it gives you different categories just like the World Book did, and it also reads to them as they hover over each different section. I clicked on amphibians, and then we went to frogs, which talks about, as you can see, it gives the word amphibians in red. Each one of those tabs gives a small amount of information, so this is very good for beginning researchers. And then at the bottom, it gives you, in the little video screen, a video of the animal's movement. The little beaver down there, it gives you the animal sound, and then by the world, it shows you world maps on where the animal can be found. Everywhere you see this little sound icon, it will read it and highlight it for them as they read it. The last student database we're going to look at is the World Book Web. Once you click on that for elementary, you're going to want to click on Kids. There is also a Spanish section down there on the bottom right. It opens up much like Pebble Go did with the different categories, or you can search for certain animals. You've got the tabs up there, or you have the little circles which have some games and activities, science projects, and some interactive things that kids might find interesting. If you click on animals, it also then gives you different animals in alphabetical order. We're going to click on the armadillo. It comes up and it shows you an article on the armadillo. It gives you a picture. It gives you a map of where it is. If you click on Hear Text Read Aloud right here, it will read the text to you and highlight it. You double click on a word and it will give you the pronunciation of the word as well. If you'll look on the left, you click there and it gives you citation information. And when you click there, you can see down here at the bottom, it cites it for you in 3 different ways. So this is something that we really want to work with our kids on, making sure that they know that they need to give credit to where they got their information. If you'll see right here, it says view this article in Spanish. If you click there, it gives you the Spanish translation. The last thing we want to look at is teachingbook.net. This is a resource for teachers. If you'll click on that, in teachingbooks.net, you can search by using Author Illustrator tab, Subjects, Book List, and Awards. Also, it gives you other resources down there with links that you can click on. In the right-hand bottom, if you click on that, you can take a tour and they will explain to you about teachingbook.net and all of the different functions that they have on here. This is a good resource for ELA teachers because it introduces kids to authors and kind of gives them a face-to-face picture of the author and makes it real and makes it personal for them. This completes your tour of the databases provided by GPISD. Welcome to the district, and I hope they are helpful to you this following year.